Hello and good morning. So, I've skipped ahead a tiny bit here. Actually, it was like 4 or 5 fights. Basically, Palace of the Dead has a lot of maps that they reuse, and, well, just a lot of more or less the same fight in a lot of cases. But, yeah, so not too much happened. I just skipped ahead to the next part that has a book here. Since, again, there may occasionally be differences in what's available and, what books are where. So, as far as I can tell, it's supposed to be this hoplite. Apparently, it's supposed to be a neutral hoplite with, well, who's really pissed at his boss. And, I don't know why they specifically needed to mention that it's a lizard for a hoplite, but it is what it is. At any rate, I made the mistake of, well, right up here, if I can find it. Oh, somewhere over here. Basically just going and farming the wrong lizard for this kind of thing. Pretty much this is very easy to do, obviously, if you're specifically just looking for a lizard, and happen to be sort of weirdly reptile racist in this case, because what I was looking for was a lizard with battering ram, which one of them, I believe it's this ghost over here, or no, I think it's this one, this patriarch, that's going along putting battering ram on everyone. So this one ends up getting battering ram, runs up here, for some reason decides to run off and hop off while his friend decides to run up in his place, and I didn't notice when that happened. I was just there for like an hour trying to farm the wrong one, like wondering why the hell is this guy dropping everything but what I need. So, don't make that mistake. Definitely double check that that lizard is the right lizard. Yeah, okay, I am occasionally woefully unobservant. It happens. It happens to the worst of us. Alright, so this dudeman has to die. The downside, of course, of having a hoplite that, that has your item that you need is, well, their crazy defense against friggin' everything, so, naturally this is gonna take a minute. Alright, first things first, can you actually steal anything from this guy? Yay, grabbed his wood. No comment. Now, just kill this ghost, I guess. We're dealing with over here. Yeah, you can't do it, I guess. Would have been nice. I guess. I think it's supposed to be, Aegis. I don't know. I think there's a similar spelling for the Aegean Sea, right? Heard of that before. So maybe that's a thing. I don't know. Probably pronounced entirely different and or may not even exist, but you know what? I'm gonna choose to assume that it does. Say Aegis. I guess. Permanent confusion. I can never not be confused by that. Right, Rudlum or Ludlum, depending on which version you're playing. It doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. Unfortunately, this patriarch is probably going to go well out of his way to try to get himself killed. Hopefully, possible to avoid that scenario. Back there. Do anyway. Probably drop some rocks on this guy, why not? Or Lobinet. Sounds like he should be some sort of well-to-do Italian mercenary or something. Ooh. Scorpion sting. Sounds pretty awesome. And it kills, too. You. Alright, well, he dropped a bag anyway. Oh, and conveniently, Canopus has a turn right afterwards, so that's handy. First off, I'm not sure this is the right tile, now that I think about it. Might be this tile. Well, either way, it's the wrong item. Alright, try again. Maybe from there that time. Just kill him with a Frostmourne this time. It's nice that they have a kill move now. And now we get to the true game here. Resetting this guy a billion times until he drops that book. Or any items whatsoever. Okay, book drop, please. Yes, you drop book. Give me loots. Now, apparently this is the one for Armguards. If he ends up dropping it, of course, but... we'll see. Yes! There we go. At the Armguard Enchilada. And that took a little bit less time than I was expecting, so that's nice. And then we'll just kind of move on to other fights from here. See what can be found and done and such sort of thing. We'll say, late game clerics and stuff, they get super annoying with all that shackle stuff. Which is fine. I'm fine with it. I mean, it's fair enough, they need a way to defend themselves, and they are more than able to do so. I'm just saying in terms of, like, general, can you please not shackle all my dudes perspective. Their general answer is no, I must shackle all your dudes. Now, I remember there was an ability to specifically unshackle or unbind. Like, Baron Bolus in the spell, but I don't really know where the hell that is. I remember that it exists, and I got it on some files. Hopefully it still exists. I mean, ease does the job pretty well, but it's a little annoying when somebody's got stagger and it ends up going just above the thingy. Just above shackle. There we go. I figured out how words work. They're complicated. Yeah, you know what, why not? Get rid of his thingy. Little shield bubble. And win the fight, why not? It's an optional, I suppose. And still basically no experience rewards from this whole thing. But yeah, so here's how much I skipped. So, one thing that I should mention, on floor 16 I actually went and picked up a Necromancer. On both 16 and 19 there were options for Necromancers, so if you want to hire them, if you want to steal some class marks, they're there. I only wanted the one for testing purposes, so his butt is right down here. Also picked up a couple Dragon Friends while there, since I need them anyway. Yeah, so he came with some stuff. That's the nice thing about hiring them here. I suppose... Did you forget all your stuff as soon as you joined? Oh, never mind. Never frickin' mind. He's got to relearn all that stuff. Well, at any rate, floor 25 is the shop. So, go ahead and drop a save and move on down. Now, I'm assuming 25 will be a dead end, or maybe it won't be. I don't know. No. For the sake of expediency, we're gonna keep Canopus around. Probably just put back Bradford, because he has a tendency to get himself killed lately. Generally, I'd like to have Bradford and Diebold working together, so a Berserker and a Knight. That way they can, the Knight can give them Aegis. They're able to last stuff out a bit better. Especially if you're going for a two-hander build. Personally, I still would say that the one-hand and shield is just better in terms of general survivability. Gonna go full Viking with it. But, Alright. Can't go completely full Viking with it, because you can't really give them chainmail aside from their pants, but whatever. You can go mostly Viking with it. Awkward conversation the other day. I was talking with this guy, basically was just sitting in line. And, long story short, he was, talking about, like, Vikings as a show. And, yeah, I was just going around as, like, basically trying to, quote-unquote, spread everything that is so historically accurate about it all over the place. Like, oh my god, they never wore anything but leather all the time, and, like, like, sitting there in line, cringing. Please, just stop talking. It's a good show, but it's not accurate. Like, if they didn't have all of this cool stuff that everybody else had, what were all the trade routes for? I mean, they had basically trade going with everyone. I think it was... Who was it that screwed him? Somebody screwed him over, that's kind of the whole deal that they started stealing stuff in the first place. Some kind of whole political thing that apparently they didn't get along with somebody, by and large, and... Like, well, I guess we're taking away all your trade and stuff now, and then they're like, okay, I guess we'll go steal everything. But yeah. Then they ended up winning a bunch of stuff, and a bunch of weird stories got written, and, well, they didn't exactly do a whole lot of propaganda to the opposite, so... Funny stuff. It's a funny stuff kind of situation with all them. It's actually kind of funny, because I came from this tiny country in Eastern Europe that, my brother had mentioned several times, like, you know, we were semi-descended from Vikings or whatever, and was looking at the history behind it. Like, it's a type of situation where they ended up going and fighting the Vikings for a really long time, until finally it just came to the point that they're like, you know what, why don't we just trade stuff instead? We're just kind of at a stalemate here. And then they just got along. That was pretty great. Man. Eastern European history, especially for some of the tinier countries, bizarre. Like, this whole roundabout thing of everybody at war with everybody for the tiniest reasons. Including one case, with this little country I mentioned, where they basically went, you know, they got a whole empire going. They got all their peace sorted out. Then, you know, this guy comes along, basically makes peace with their enemies and everything else. Everything's fine. Then he decides, you know what? Screw my relatives. And, like, all his relatives are dukes holding property all over the place. And, so he decides, you know what? Screw it. Those guys don't have titles anymore, or I don't recognize them anymore, that sort of thing. And, yeah, long story short, starts a civil war over basically nothing. So cool, I guess? Wait a minute, it just occurred to me, this is floor 23. This is supposed to be the one that has the book in it. Where's my thingy? I think that was the one that was supposed to drop it, too. Yeah, let's see. Crossbows on 22, and that's a skeleton archer that has to be non-story. Yeah, Lamia Witch, Chaos Elevation 13 on floor 23. Did she start over here? Whatever, I'm gonna check that book in just a sec. Or that bag in just a sec. Is it? Hell yes! Alright. Good deal. Although, now you go back and actually take your turn. Oh yes! Class marks. And then the last thing will just be to go to floor 22. Actually, no. There's 2 more destinations here. I want to go to floor 22, pick up that crossbow thing. I think I'm going to run to a story fight, though. At the very least, I should probably trigger that and you know, go back later for it, because crossbow is amazing. But now I'm just going to save scum the hell out of this fight to speed it up. Congratulations, everyone, you now have 100% accuracy. Well, maybe not. That's boring. So I must say, now that he's kind of set up for it, Rudlam's actually pretty decent at keeping himself alive. By and large, I've been able to stick him in the front lines in a few fights, and he's just holding his own. I haven't switched him over to a Wizardlington in order to get his Meditate yet, but I'll do that at some point. Also, I should probably save it. There's books and stuff. And since everybody's ranged, might as well have her staff smacking some stuff. Ah, it's so good to have clerics that can hurt stuff. So handy. Completely drained, aren't you? Whatever. Got all tired out making somebody go faster. That sounds dirtier than I intended it to. But it will. Ooh, plan B. And by and large, I think Cash was probably the easiest way to get speed going on people right now. Like, especially if you're using her as your frontliner. I'm not even terribly excited about going and trying out the Heretic just because she's so friggin' good. Almost kind of makes me wish that her classes were split amongst different units or something. Like, maybe Ozma could be a Heretic or something, which doesn't really make sense. You know what? Oh, man. Okay, you're mentioning... Okay, Brakes was mentioning that he made male and female versions of a lot of the classes. Is there a Heretic, like the male Heretic? Is that a thing? Because maybe Donalto could do it. Huh? Gives him a unique thing? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know, I think it sounds awesome. But then again, I've also been told I'm an idiot. So, no. Maybe it's awesome, maybe it isn't, I don't know. I personally really like the idea. I like many ideas that are dumb. But that might not be a dumb idea is what I'm trying to say here. Why is your record so bad? Probably for balance. Because oh my god, you put out damage like a friggin' truck. I think Tammuz is easily one of my favorites right now. Just between the sprite, the fact that he can fly, the fact that he's basically a tank that can use ranged weapons very effectively, and the fact that he's also able to do a lot of really good stuff with his free moves. Specifically going around and shackling things, which I rarely use, but when it does work... Good. I think I'm just gonna have her exercise, actually. I should be doing some healing, but I'm hoping that these guys will be able to hold out long enough to it's worthwhile. Shouldn't be too much longer of a fight. And that guy's back there, he literally can do nothing. I don't even know what they put him up there for. Now you can go up. What's it? Yeah, there we go. Feed on Kashwa. Kashwa can do some healing. I believe someone must have. I just noticed a second exorcism is needed. Assume everybody can last for a minute. I'm probably just... I don't like having stun on that many people. I was hoping to do an AoE stun removal with one of them. And I probably could have just not done the first exorcism. But, or take a turn back here. I think between the two of them... Oh. How about that stuff? Alright, fine, I guess you're not taking a turn then. Fine, just sit there. Wait, don't sit there, because the move Dive Bolt there. There we go, said there. What can you do? Can you detect traps? You know what? I kind of want to see what's going on over here. It feels like that needs a bigger range. Like, twice or even 3 times as much range. Because even when I know there's traps, I think more than likely I'm just gonna run ahead and, you know, deal with those traps with my face rather than use that ability. Which again might just be a personal thing, but what? Drop down here, get this Lamia on our side. No, you don't have to sit in poison. Have him go back to his ghost terminating duties in the next round. Could have done that last round. That's okay, nobody's paying attention, right? Basic heal on Azelstan so he doesn't die. Yeah, currently my top 2 dyers of all things are Azelstan and Voltaire, who almost actually perma-died. On one of the fights, forgot to mention this before, but yeah, on one of the fights, he ended up getting friggin' booted straight off a cliff right at the end of a fight. So basically, he gets booted off, the other guy dies of poison, so I can't even save coming back to life. But, yeah, it's kind of hilarious, actually. Like, I'm doing so well, I won the fight! And then just, like, Game of Thrones right off a friggin' cliff. Like, you thought you were gonna live, huh? And, yeah, so after that, he actually ended up getting knocked off yet another cliff in the exact next fight, but that one had an option to reset, so, went ahead and did so, because I don't want to lose Voltaire. He's actually really... when I go and do the full Iron Man run, that'll be a different story. Alright, go ahead and charge her up a little. No, she's fine. The other one. Yeah, so I've been doing like a test Iron Man run on another save file, and I mean, so far so good. I don't know if I ended up keeping the part where I was mentioning about it earlier, but yeah, ended up doing pretty well on that one so far. The only casualty was, by the end of Chapter 1, the only real casualty was Donalto, which was on purpose because I wanted to use Felicia for that run. That was nice. I have to say, Felicia's new sprite looks really, or sprite and portrait and everything, just like the new look really, really goes. And yeah, Donalto's is just as awesome. I just wanted to use Felicia for that particular run. Alright, let's... we exercise with 2. Hoping to go for a double exorcism, but apparently that dragon isn't dying yet. No such luck on that. Actually found out that I probably should have gone for the spear book before coming down here, but I'll be picking that up next time. Idea is the spear Enchilada, the one from Farampa from the headwater there. That's the next book I'm gonna go get after all this stuff. Probably just gonna off-screen it because it's gonna be Farampa. But no, it's got the upgrade to the Colnecrolon, or whatever you want to call it, the friggin' unicorn spear. And I forgot that it made it into a basically anti-zombie weapon. So that would have been really friggin' handy for a lot of these things. Not that there's been a very severe lack of damage output. Actually been very nice. Oh, that is some massive dickery. Okay, these ghosts and everybody else have to die before Azelston bleeds out. That's not what I meant to do. Of course, the downside is Canopus is also my main damage dealer against friggin' everything. Well, I mean, I guess the dragon's got no health on it anyway. Some Illuminas, right? Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna go deal with that guy. Okay, you gotta stop doing your summons. And that's actually hilariously inept of you, thank you. I'm gonna have her do an exorcism. Just on the off chance that this dragon wants to friggin' speed up and come back to life. And actually you're gonna move... No, you're not. You're gonna move over here. Their damage output should be pretty much mitigated to nothing. So I'm just gonna drop one major heal on these guys, just for safety's sake. Drop a bunch of start dropping points onto Diligent, and basically, I think Azelston actually should be fine. There may not even be a point doing that. Yeah. Go round 2 when ready. He's taking out the second one. So no, I'm just gonna have them run up and exercise instead. What are you guys doing points for? Aurelius could use more. So, glad that the person that ends up getting killed off, well, kind of killed off in the Chaos route, or not the Chaos route, in Law apparently. The one where you go back to the whole zombie outbreak at Balmamusa there. Turns out that was Aurelius. Ended up completely missing that part. As in, every time I thought that this was a completely different thing. But yeah, if you go back on one of the routes, Diebold is already dead. You don't get there in time, and Aurelius ends up getting shanked by a zombie while trying to escape. Well, over there like, oh my god, I'm totally gonna use this ability to get out of here, it's fine, it's cool, I got this, and then they're like, no, you're not in a cutscene, and then die. So that's how that exactly plays out. Hang out here for a sec. Poisons, right? That's TV. Set your toilet paper to nothing! So, I'm gonna chance it and say Azelston should be just kind of fine. It depends entirely on how much damage Scorpion Sting ends up doing. Actually, you know what? No. Safety strategies. One's gonna do exorcisms, Aurelius is gonna charge. That way we're only losing one leaf. Because now, yeah, now especially that he's moved there, Canopus won't be able to go assist with that Berserker. Funny note on Berserkers, by the way. Not actually a, like, crazy savage beatdown Viking sort of guy. It turns out originally, translation was more for, like, a champion of sorts. Like, the idea was that, you know, a ruler or whatever would have basically a super henchman, more or less. Like, okay, you know, this is my bouncer, you go fight him, you know, that's that sort of situation. And so that was apparently referred to as the Berserker. Anyway, kind of a funny thing. Random little tidbit there. Slow you down a little bit. Wait, what? Oh, resets are TP, not RT. Sure. I was looking at it, trying to figure out why their recovery time wasn't instantly 0. No, it's their Terminator points. Go bring Azelstan back. Because after all that crap, he is not dying a second time. And yes, I did completely let him die the first time. It was a bit of an accident. Like I said, it's one of those situations where a boss died of poison right as I was going and, winning the fight, so... Well, one of those situations where he died and, yeah, no avoiding him meeting his untimely demise. Vertical on that sounds worth it. Compare. Aura would do 115, this would do that, but it would reduce his health. Arguably, Aura was more useful there, but I'm not arguing. I ended up using it. It involves a spear, and I like spears. I guess technically more of a halberd, but let's just say pole arms. Delicious. You probably, you know what? Get your cudgel skill up. Or don't. There we go. That's what I was planning to do. And you... And there we go. Where I cannot read, not read that as Shao Kahn. The Shakam that he uses. Storm. And yeah, it looks like the little one's up and about, so I'm probably gonna just go ahead and call it here then. Take a look at the layout of the rooms real quick, just to see what's going on. So, okay, so 22's down that way anyway, so yeah, there's just gonna be an optional fight there. 24, I understand this is one of those general fights. Ooh, okay. So, I'll come back for all that. So, see you then.